I did the Poised, bitches. Hey beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. So today I've gotten another gorgeous transformation for you all. We're going to be working with some red lipstick today. To get started, I'm just going to be wiping my model's skin with my Johnson Baby wipes. I'm going to go in with my primer spray to prep the skin, and then I was just about to say I'm going to use my primer, but I actually didn't use my Becca primer. I went in with some Melanie Mills Radiance just to, apply some glow onto the skin. I'm going to spray my brush with my e.l.f. makeup setting spray and buff that glow into the skin just so that everything is nice and seamless. For foundation today, I went in with my AJ Crimson foundation in 4.5 and I mixed this with some of the glow that I used earlier on. I'm just going to spray the brush again and then work the product into the skin. And I always apply my foundation like in a dabbing, like pattern motion. To highlight her face, I'm going to be using my Tarte concealers in medium and tan, and I'm just going to apply this to the areas of the face that I want to highlight. And once I have that all applied, I'm going to be going in with a damp beauty blender and I'm just going to buff the product into the skin. Once we're done with highlighting, I'm going to be using my Ben Nye Cream Shadow in dark brown. I'm just going to apply this to the areas of the face that I want to bring shadow and dimension to. So I'm going to be using this to cream contour basically. Once I'm done applying it, I'm just going to be buffing it in with the same brush that I used. Once I'm done with contouring the face, I'm going to just spray the skin. I'm going to wait for that spray to set in. And then once her face is nice and damp, I'm going to go back in with my foundation brush and I'm just going to blend every single thing together. So that's the highlighted area, the contoured area, the foundation. I'm going to blend, 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 blend so everything looks nice and seamless and there's absolutely no harsh lines on the face. To set her highlighted areas, I went in with my YSL Soufflé Declat powder in number 3. For the rest of her face, I'm going to be using my MAC MSF in dark and medium tan, I believe. I'm going to mix both shades together. I'm just going to apply this to the rest of the face. Once I'm done doing that, I'm going to be using Black Radiance powder in Marula, and this is what I'm going to use to contour the perimeters of her face. So once I'm done with contouring, I'm going to move on to the brows, and I'm using my ABH Brow Wiz in soft brown. And these brows, even though they weren't that full, but they were just so easy to fill in. I don't know if it's maybe because I'm doing brows after foundation, but I just found it super easy to fill in. But you guys pretty much saw what I did. And then I'm just going to be using my MAC Studio Finish Concealer in NC40 and NC45. I'm going to use the NC40 towards the outer corner and the NC45 mixed with the 40 towards the inner corner just to create like a gradient effect, and I'm just going to apply some of that on the top as well. Once I'm done with the application, I'm going to buff it out, and voila, brows done. So I'm just going in with some of that concealer that I used on her brow on the lid as well, and this is going to more or less serve as my eyeshadow base. So I'm going to set it in place first, and I'm using the same setting powder that I used earlier on, which is the YSL Soufflé Declat powder, and then I'm just setting the concealer on top of the brows as well. I'm dusting everything, making sure everything is nice and seamless. And then I went in for the nose contour. I used my Black Radiance powder in chocolate, which is the shade before the Marula shade. It's a bit, it's a bit more subtle. So I always like to go with a slightly lighter contour powder around the nose area. I just feel like it looks more natural. Once I'm done with contouring the nose, I'm going to be reverse contouring her face using the dark Mineralized Skin Finish. And this is the darker one of the two shades that I used to set the whole of her face. And once I'm done with that, I'm going to go back in with some of the powder that I used to set her face, and we're just going to bake before eyeshadow application. So onto the eyes, I'm going to be using my House of Tara eyeshadow primer, and I'm going to use this as the base. So I'm going to apply it all over her lid, and I'm just going to buff it in. And then I'm going to be taking this yellowish shade from my Makeup Geek eyeshadow palette in Gold Digger, and this is going to be the very first transition color, and I'm just blending it out. Then I went in with Cocoa Bear, and I'm just going to apply this towards the inner corner no, not the inner corner, the outer corner, and I work it into the crease. Like, the eyes were so simple to create, guys. And then for our eyelid, I went to my ABH eyeshadow in cream, and I just like patted this. This color was quite similar to, well, I wouldn't say similar to the powder, but it was meant to be very like neutral skin-like looking, and I like the way it looked. So I'm just going to pat this all over her lid, blend that out, and like you could literally rock the eyes like that, but I was like, let me just add a bit of metallic shadow just to glisten it up a bit, and I just used my Stella shadow on the lid. And then I just line the eyes. So once I'm done lining the eyes, I'm going to smudge out the liner, and I'm just going to use the Makeup Geek's eyeshadow in Corrupt. I've just been enjoying doing this like smudge liner look lately. I'm just going to prep the lashes, which is Poised by Suliat Mink Lashes in Umra. I'm dusting all the excess powder off the face, making sure everything is seamless. For my blush, I'm going to be using MAC's blush in Peachtwist, and like this blush just gives perfect flush of color to the skin. I love it. And then for her glow, I went in with my Melanie Mills Radiant Dust in Rose Gold. I think I used this one and the Inglot one. You guys already know. So I'm going to apply this first, which is a bit more subtle. Applied it on the nose, chin, bit on the forehead. And then I went in with the Inglot one, which is a bit more sparkly. And I'm just going to, apply more glow. Why not? So I went ahead and I applied the lashes that I prepped earlier on, just making sure it's sitting in place. I'm going to go in with some of that liner just to blend between the lash band and the lash line so everything looks super natural. And then to set her face, I'm going to be using my Urban Decay All Nighter spray. The spray is thebomb.com. Well, I'm popping some glue on the brows. I didn't even know I did that. So for the mascara, I'm going to be using my Maybelline Great Lash and my Laura Miss Manga. You guys already know, like, I absolutely love these two combinations. I'm going to blend in the lashes, well, the falsies with her natural lashes, and then I'm going to apply some to her bottom lashes as well, and voila. So onto the lips, I'm going to be using my Lime Crime Lip Stain in Wicked, and this is like a dark berry bloody red color, and I'm just going to use this as the lip liner actually. So I'm going to use this to outline her lips first. Once I'm done with outlining the lips, I'm going to be using my OCC Lip Tarte in NSFW, and this is like a gorgeous, like bright blood red color, and I'm going to use this as the main lip color. So I'm going to use this to fill her lips, and I'm slightly going over the part that I lined as well, and then I decided to smudge underneath the eyes. But guys, this is literally it. This is everything for the tutorial. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in my next video. Yes. Beautiful.